Hello, welcome. How you doing, folks? Great to be with you again. All right, today's it's a Monday. We started another week, and I thought we'd start off with checking in where you're at. That's the title for the day. Checking in where you're at. Okay, my name is George, and I'm a life and a business coach. You know, since lockdown, that was what, 6 months ago? Whoa! I'm sure you had that, folks. That means we are in for some good rain today. All right. So yeah, we had a discussion around lessons from the past pointing us to the future. I'm sure you remember that. That was in April when the lockdown came in. And for me then, the priority was to stay calm, follow advice and the prescriptions from the authorities, and try and utilize the time to improve myself and to help those around my sphere. And I think I've done fairly well. I've helped those around me. I've tried to understand a bit more about myself, and it's amazing. But what about you? What did you set yourself to do whilst you were in confinement? What were your priorities? And how far did you go with that? Think about it, you know. Some people studied. I know a lot of guys took time to study. And others improved whatever aspect of themselves that they thought was a shortcoming. You know, I also discovered some things about myself which, some I loved, some I didn't like. But it's introspection. It's a time to look at yourself inward and say, what are those things that probably shouldn't be there? And I will share with you what I'm not good at staying in confinement. That's the one thing I learned. It's a paradigm, I suppose. You used to roam around, go where you wanted. Now we're in confinement. I didn't quite come out the classic example in that. I found a number of things that I didn't like. And one of them was, you know, I had thoughts like, when will this end? How is this going to end? How is this going to pan out? But I understood the laws of the universe, so I kept reading about them and stayed in control because of it. But I must admit, I'm not really very good at staying in confinement. So that was one for me. I also discovered that I used to think I'm very, very tolerant, right? But I found I wasn't. And so because you had to do everything online, whatever order you wanted to make, you made an order online, you couldn't go and do things yourself. And because of that, when people, because obviously they got overwhelmed as well, they didn't quite live up to their word. So they would say, okay, we'll deliver this thing on Thursday at 2 p.m. and it's Friday at 3 p.m. No one has showed up, no one has phoned you. And you know, I realized that I'm not as tolerant, and I need to work on that. Because it doesn't quite help you. So yeah, that was one thing I found. And also because I love exercise, right? So I couldn't exercise for the whole period. But what did you discover about yourself? And I want you to be honest with yourself. Sit down, take a piece of paper and say, okay, all right, so this is the lockdown day it started. And probably you're still in, or you've just moved out into lockdown 1. What are the things you discovered about yourself? Because you see, when you know them and understand them, it helps you understand yourself better, and it makes you a better person because you're better able to deal with yourself. Because you see, being a good person, as I've said to people, is not really being perfect in everything. It's understanding your strengths and your weaknesses. And so when you know your weakness, you're in a place where you are now going to ensure that somebody else helps you out in areas where you are weak. All right. So knowing yourself is a good thing because you get to know your strength. You know, what ideas came in your mind? I must admit, I came up with a few ideas. Whether they will come out in the end, I don't know. I'm going to work at it now. But because I was confined, I sat down and I said, what about this? What about that? What about this? So I came up with a number of ideas, and I hope you guys sit down and said, okay, what ideas have I got? What should I do with my business? There's things that I never thought I would do that I've realized, hey, but I could actually do it. So I had conversations with people, and so I'm going to be doing some things that you probably don't expect from me. But it was ideas that came through from being confined. I would not have gone that route had I been free and fancy free as I've been in the past. So yeah, that was something that from there. And when we spoke in April, I mentioned something, and I thought I'm asking a lot of people about this. I mentioned something. I said, if you were having a problem with, say alcohol or cigarettes, etc., because they were not accessible, it's an opportunity for you to dry out and even actually move out from that space. I know some people have, and kudos to them. Some haven't, but it's an opportunity. You may actually want to use that because of the restrictions that are currently in place, particularly here where we are in South Africa. But I think in most places, things have not really gone back to pre-COVID days. So it's an opportunity maybe to dry out. My fitness has regressed, but guess what? I had realized, and I've been preaching about the law of rhythm for ages, but I realized that because what the law of rhythm says, everything goes up, goes down, moves side, to and fro, ebb and flow. I've had an opportunity to rest my body for the first time in years. Here comes the rain. For the first time in years, I hadn't done that in ages. So it's an opportunity, and I've taken full advantage of it. I still keep doing a bit things that are active, but I've realized that there's a reason for it, and so hey, I'm taking it easy for a ride. A few kgs extra won't hurt. Yeah, but it's been an opportunity really to look at myself. But the other thing also is this: the law of opposites states that decrees that when something really bad happens, something really good will happen soon. So we have had this that is very bad. So because of that law, and laws are laws, we will have something good. So maybe it's an opportunity for you to start thinking about what good will come out of this and how will you take advantage of it. All right, yeah, well, it's bucketing down now, so I probably need to get back indoors. But it was great having you guys. My name is George. So this week we'll now pick up the subject of goals, because I really think this is the time to start talking about goals. So we're heading for 2021, an opportunity to write your goals, an opportunity to examine your goals, but we're heading for 2021. What are the things that you're going to put in place for 2021? Start thinking about that now. Start thinking about that now, so that come 2021, you're ready, you're able, you've got plans in place. All you're doing now is actioning. I'm very, very positive that 2021 will be a great, great year. Because the law of opposites decrees that what? When something really bad happens, something really good is coming up. So hey, take good care of yourselves. Stay positive, folks. We will be with you tomorrow. Take good care now. Bye-bye.